A longtime Wisconsin residents will finally remember the name Dave Iverson.
The broadcaster and filmmaker of more than 20 documentaries for PBS, you'll recall co-hosted the popular Friday night show Weekend on Wisconsin Public Television for a decade.
Now Dave has written a book about his experience being a caretaker for his mother in her final years. It's called Winter Stars: An Elderly Mother, an Aging Son, and Life's Final Journey. Dave's here now. Welcome back to Madison.
Great to see you, friend.
It's like time has stood still.
Welcome back to Madison.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Mark. It's a pleasure to be here.
So what does the title mean?
Well, the title Winter Stars actually comes from a conversation I had with my mom. It was our last Christmas together. And at that point, she was 104, soon to be 105. And she was, dementia had taken its toll, and she couldn't speak terribly clearly anymore. But on this particular night, she was calm and quiet, and we had this lovely moment together. And then she said to me, "I feel lucky." And she said it with more clarity than anything I'd heard her say in a long time. And then I asked her, "Well, can you tell me why, Mom?" And she paused, and then she looked up at me with eyes as bright as winter stars, and she said, "Because there's love all around."
Oh, wow, that's getting to me. The interview just started, Dave. This book is really a love letter to your mom.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I had had a chance to know her. She sounds like a true steel magnolia.
Yeah, she was something else. She was the kind of person who would get up every day and think, well, what can I get done today? And that continued until her late 90s. She was passionate about civic life, registering voters, tutoring people at the county jail, passionate about Stanford sports, was a huge fan, made calls for Barack Obama, in 2008. And so in a way, it was sort of startling when she was no longer able to be the person she had always been.
So you moved in with her. Tell us the story.
Yeah. Well, I was a 59-year-old broadcaster at the time, like you guys, in the San Francisco Bay Area. And my mom had done really well. She was 95 at the time, but she had a bad case of pneumonia, and it was clear that she wouldn't be able to live alone anymore at home. My dad had died some years before. And I just thought, well, I'm here. I'm busy, but I can do this. My life is full, but it's flexible, and I'm nearby. And my mom and I had a very, very close relationship, and so I thought, well, I'll just do this. And I was fortunate to have caregivers who could be with her during the day so that I could keep working. So I didn't quit working, I kept working. But of course, I was spectacularly naive about what that would entail. It was humbling, challenging, frustrating, anger-provoking. I learned more about my capacity for anger than I ever knew, but also in the end, deeply rewarding. And not only with my relationship with my mom, but with the relationship with the caregivers who were there during the day, who I became very close to and who I have so much regard and admiration and gratitude for.
When you moved in with your mom, you didn't realize she would live another decade.
Well, right.
She lived until 105.
Yeah, and 5. Yeah, I had the kind of illusion that, well, she's 95. This is going to be sort of a short-term thing, Well, not so much.
Well, millions of us, all of us, will eventually make this journey and become caretakers. So what is your wisdom and advice? What lies ahead? It's a complicated question because you didn't really know what you were getting yourself into.
No, not at all. I mean, I think it's really important, and part of why I wanted to write the book was so that we would have this conversation. We face an elder care crisis in this country, Someone turns 65 in this country every 8 seconds. So over the course of your 4 o'clock newscast, 700 people more in this country have turned 65. So we're facing this, we don't talk about it, and I think we must. And I think we have to recognize how important it is to care for the elderly and to provide loving care. I was lucky. We had the resources to have that, and I could keep working, but so many people don't, and we need to wake up to that. But I think also be ready for what you can gain from that. I learned so much, Sue and Mark. I learned so much about myself, but also about what care can mean and what it can provide. And that changed me, humbled me, reoriented me, I guess, more than probably any other life experience. So Think hard about it if you're considering it. Realize what you're in for, but realize what you're in for in positive ways too.
And what a gift it is to have that time with her. Yeah.
We're just scratching the surface here. We can hear more about the book tomorrow night. Doug Moe will be hosting a conversation with Dave Iverson. It's at 6 p.m. in person at the Mystery to Me bookstore, or you can watch a live stream on Crowdcast. You can register at mysterytomebooks.com.